All right, good evening, everybody. Um, hopefully, fighting through the last of this cold. It's been about 6 days since I updated. Most of it, I had been letting it run through a few iterations on the last version that we had here. One of the things that was interesting was we had made it. We hadn't quite made it through Mount Moon at the time. We were getting pretty close, and then we had a kind of a bit of breakthrough on say I think it's Thursday or Friday of last week where we actually made it to beating Misty. But then I let it run over the weekend, and we actually kind of backtracked. I figured because we were getting near the end of the steps that I had in each cycle, and I thought that well, if I instead of doing 24 at a time, do 12 at a time and give it the save state that had made it to Misty, and just give it more time to progress from the beginning of the game through, that we would see um, progress further in the game and hopefully making it to things like the SSN, or at least going up to who's it up there? I think it's Bill. Um, but what ended up happening, I basically doubled the amount of steps that it would finish or would complete in a session. That's what you're seeing here. Was instead of multiplying it by 40, I did it by 80, and then to keep it the same number of steps in the memory, I did this dividing it by 80, basically. It took about 47 million steps to make it to Misty. This was one of the original creator. He had one that got there in about 32 million steps. So starting from scratch, we had pretty good progress. And then it seems like we kind of backslid a little bit in terms of actually making anywhere. I think one of the interesting things, if I can pull up the screenshots from this session, finish out, a number of them have congregated around this computer. This is the one near Mount Moon where the guy here trades you the Magikarp if you give him $500 or gold or whatever in the game. And I think what's happening here is that there's such a high spike in reward that it comes here and then kind of soft locks itself into this position for a while. So you're going to get, I have 2 points for every new Pokemon. So there's no chances to catch Magikarp before this or see Magikarp even before this. So you're getting 1 point for seeing a new Pokemon, and then 2 additional points for capturing a new Pokemon. And then if it hasn't gotten to the point in leveling Pokemon where the reward starts to scale down a bit, then it will get a spike in points here as well. So at a minimum, it's getting 1.25 points. If it's over 20, we start dividing it by 4, just to encourage it to keep moving on instead of farming levels. But if it hasn't, then it comes there. Let's say you're only level like 16 accumulated so far. You add this Magikarp, all of a sudden you're jumping to you had the three points from before, and now you're adding 4 or 5 additional points. So it's almost the same as getting to a gym in terms of the overall amount of points awarded. And so this is causing it to, I think, hang around this spot more than I would like. So I think there's a couple of things. I wanted to check one other thing here because I wasn't sure if there was in the events here, if there was anything related to Magikarp. Yeah. So then because I'm giving 4 times event rewards, I believe it is, that it's now getting such a huge boost from this Magikarp that it's like it's highly incentivized to go there and try and see if there's more. And all it's doing, at that time, is just talking menus. There's nothing really additional for it to do, and it would gladly trade the 500 gold or whatever because there's nothing that we have, no value we assign to that, to try and do that, and then continue along the way. So I think it's cashing in on a bunch of things at the same time, and I think that is actually what's boosting it a bit too much for what we're looking for. So um, explore rate is fine. There was another thing that I noticed too is that it started to do more um, healing at the Pokemon Center. So I want to reduce the heal reward back to what it was before. Um, those are just outputting the values. Level reward, so it should be somewhere near here. I don't know why we never implemented. Okay, so we are having that, but we are increasing this by 5 times. I'm going to take it down to 2 just because what I noticed is it would get about 200 points overall, and about 10% of those were coming from going to the Pokemon Center. I think we have enough here. Um, this had never panned out to actually do anything in terms of the PP. It never calculated right, and then, or not necessarily calculated right, never returned anything in the calculations. And so I guess let's just double check it real quick before we take it out. Take a quick look at this. So we just wanted to see if there was anything here. Maybe it's just failing this check. So get low power moves. We're basically just trying to see if any of the moves in the active Pokemon were here. Where is, okay, so maybe this last power isn't right. Let's check. Okay, so it is going to be 1 to start with. It's probably best to be 0. No, we want to make sure that it's greater than. Right? Maybe this is just backwards. Maybe if this is 0. So the first time it comes through, it's 0. It can never be less than. So this cannot be this way. So if current power is 1, and then the last power is. Let's say there's one move. We have our starter Pokemon. It's got one move that uses, we know it's Tackle, 35 uses. If he uses it, let's say 5 times, right? So then I should see 5 here the next time it gets through. And then if it were to heal that, I think I've kind of worked myself a bit into the point. So it has some, we're starting at 0. And then if it uses a move, let's say 5 times, then it goes to the Pokemon Center, we should see that this is 5, right? And that should be by taking the, well, if we do it that way, it's going to end up being negative as it is currently. So we're going to do per power minus that, the last power amount. And then this comes after the reward where it's setting the value from get low power move and getting that value back. Okay. So it will check to see if it's been updated. It will go through and add it. And then next step after that is to go back and do another check for the score here. Still, let's say it gets a new Pokemon, it's at 35, right? 35, and then it would decrease by using it 5 times, right? Now your last power is 30. You then go to a Pokemon Center and get it to heal. Now it's gained 35 moves back, right? Or it's gained 5 points, or it should gain 5 points because it's back to 35. And then the same process would repeat, which makes sense. And then back to healing here. And we're saying 0.05 times that. One of the thoughts in my head here that I need to check is it being rewarded because when you faint, you're going to lose 0.1. But then are you also um, restoring a bunch of PP by that action? And so we may have to come back and check that out. So I'm going to leave this here and just see if that had actually worked. And then the level rewards. Let's go to get level rewards. Did I read that wrong? Get levels reward. Yeah, okay. We're simply taking all the values and we're subtracting out only 4. Um, basically we're only subtracting out the boost for the starter Pokemon, so as soon as you start running at like 2 points, I don't think it particularly matters. um, highly incentivizes capturing Pokemon early, which is fine. Um, we have this to do done. So the store Pokemon levels here, we're keeping everything in this Pokemon levels object. Basically, it's just going to be two things here. And then we're checking the max for those. And then if it's in there, we're taking the max of it. So this helps if we have two of the same Pokemon. It's not going to reward the scoring for this dramatically. And then the other thing is that by doing it this way, you're not necessarily penalizing having the same Pokemon, but you're not rewarding it at the same time for this. And then if it doesn't exist, then it's going to create it at the current level. There. So it's here. For each meet out the game. And what this does is this fixes the storing Pokemon NPC, causing it to massively drop its level reward because it wasn't seeing that before. And then this allows it to actively use the Pokemon Center as a way of keeping the party upright and continuing its progress. So I think that's fine there. Still need to deal with the Magic Up situation, and I'm not sure the best way for that. Looking here, got rewards. Already decreased the leveling rewards quite significantly. Okay, so the event rewards is ×3. One for each Pokemon seen. An additional one. I just think let's take this down. Opponent level. Oh, we also took the healing down a bit. So incentivizing. Essentially, we're upping the events rewards overall. The levels here are the same as before. We reduce the healing component. We're hoping that the PvP side starts working, and then we may have to massively decrease this. We still have exploration going. I put in a reward here for the badges. It's just a flat 10. Maybe even increasing this to 20 just to incentivize it to quickly get through the badges. Then maybe also making an adjustment to Elite 4 if we would get that far, but I'd be happy to cross that bridge. Get there. Doing that. So this isn't counting the first time you see your opponent party because it's reducing it by the 5. Really understand that. And get all events reward. Okay. Let's save this here and let's get it kicked. Just start a new session. I'm not using any of the points from here. I'm going back to using this session from the other day. because we had a good output here, and I don't want that to cause things. So I'm going to move this off screen. Give it a minute or two to spin up, and then hopefully we'll see more progress here. I've been chatting with a couple of the people who are doing it as well, just to get an idea on their progress and a couple things. And I posted in the group about the whole Magikarp thing. I think I've got a good idea on how to handle it. I'm curious about what they had, if they have encountered this as well. Seems like yeah. Looks a good amount of them are starting to quickly get the progress. Let's see where we're at here. Yeah, they. It's interesting. For the first couple times through here, we had so many issues of just getting out of Professor Oak's lab. Where now we're starting to get along the way, as he's already tens, which is quite amazing. Honestly, it's like 4,000 steps. Quickly getting there. Did update a new session. Quickly just see here. Yeah. My goodness, we already got some already up into the forest. Just looking at screenshots, like I see Weedle's Kapunas. Um, it is just flying through. Right. Overall, pretty awesome. Like I said, we hit a state where we get very quickly over to Brock because the Squirtle starter really has a super effective bonus, which just lets it kind of crush once it learns Bubble. And then quickly kind of get through even into the the trainers outside of Peter City, that we kind of quickly fly and achieve a lot of progress quickly. And the fastest I had was about by the um, it was about the 12,000 step mark. Already had them in Brock's gym and beating him. So we will see progress here. So we're quickly seeing, um, 46 points, a little over half or a little under half are the Explorer. Um, couple Pokemon seen, some healing, and a few levels gained too. Which this is just one of. So this one is like level 8 or 9. That one in particular, but I imagine we'll see some if we get up here once we appear on the map again. Look, screenshots. Yeah. So one of the things it still struggles with, and I see it here, is the getting poisoned in the fights with Weedle that it just keeps moving, and so like it whited out because Bulbasaur had fainted from the poison, or it's less of like a really weak Pokemon that it captured and never healed. So we'll see. I see another one just caught a Rattata. That's a Pidgey. Couple still going. We're doing there. We do, I think, still need to come back to that reward function, which maybe once we see this get a little more progress, I will work on that a bit more tonight. Because what I'm seeing, hopefully we can make it through. There we go. There we go. All of a sudden there, a bunch of them rushing on in. And if we built it for just me, maybe worth it. There we go. Yeah, got a couple here. Working the way through. I believe there's a trainer in this area, so then they get points for beating the trainer. Oh, someone encountered the rival fight. I think it's the one over here. Yep, this guy did the rival fight, beat him with Pidgey. We're seeing it. Okay, so this broadcast is a little bit behind what I'm seeing in the screenshots. Yeah, Tony getting stopped as he tries to go into the final four. Sorry, Victory Road in the final four. All in all, still good, quick progress. Few of them are still trying to make it through. Curious when we get to Brock. Seems like we're approaching that 80,000 step mark. I just want to see if we can quickly get to Brock and then go back and try and work on some of the item rewards. I think that's one of the hardest part here with the item rewards will be the uh, giving proper value to some of these. So you only have 20 bag slots, but um, I did find that you could do the items that are stored in the PC. I wouldn't want to rate this too highly, just because some of these are expendable, like the Pokeballs. But you don't want to not give it any rewards at all if you're going to do that as well. What I was saying was get a minimum of 10 for the value that it finds. It would get points, just for having like the world map and stuff in there. Let's see. The next session. So with having 12 agents at 8,000 steps, you're talking, you're right at the 9,000 step mark. Oh, somebody beat Brock already. Yep, this guy. Yeah, I think another one's in here. I see somebody fighting. Yeah, there you go. We have the second one now, based on the screenshots I'm seeing. Yep, and then War Turtle evolved. So that's the one I'm seeing that's still in there. The next one already out and running. They gave it a huge reward for that, and we've got two, now three already there. A couple more now, kind of stretching out. Where was that big reward from? Goes boom, boom. We're seeing such a huge spike from that, and that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted them to quickly path their best way to the gym. That way they can get there quickly. And then I'm hoping, because this one also includes the times when we beat Misty, that they are going to quickly get through Mount Moon. So it looks like we've got 4 or 5 that have already done it, and a few more to come now, as it seems like we are getting there. We're getting close to the off for this. We'll write about it. Less than 100 steps left. So there we go. It's probably one of the ones that's the furthest along because we're already getting the reduced level rewards. So it probably has a few Pokemon in the party. It may be worthwhile to improve the output when it does the training iterations. Let's see some of the ones that are a little further behind. Less than half that are there. Hoping that these ones, it seems like they're starting to progressively move north through the map to get there. And then hoping that these ones can get to the point where they are fighting Misty. I'd seen a few iterations where they already had like Blastoises before they had gotten to fighting Misty. So I'm hoping that we can kind of train out this behavior where it spends a lot of time kind of roaming around. We hadn't implemented the item rewards, right? Pictures. I want to massively increase this when we put it in. Do we see any? Yeah, PP is just not working. That's fine. But I think I want to take that out. We're not getting uh, we're not getting anything out of it. So then why focusing on it? It's not adding or taking anything away. At the moment. Few or I guess one in the Mount Moon. So just that one, yeah. And a few of the others were here working their way through. So hopefully we can see that. It seems like they are at least getting progress, which is nice. I don't think we need to spend too much longer. We just want to kind of prove out, or what I at least would hope to prove out, So I guess I'll leave it for a moment. We come back. Let's just leave it on Brock's gym. All right. Okay, we got a few more there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. About half a made it in the Mount Moon. Where do you have? I guess they're still struggling. I don't know what they're doing. That one has a war turtle. Maybe it's just trying to fill out the exploration rewards a bit more. It seems like about half have gotten the badge. I know you can't go, past this line here unless you got it. So there's that. Looks like overall reward is middling. Most of it that's driving it is the events, the exploration. They're keeping about pace with each other. Seeing a bunch of Pokemon, incentivizes a lot of the trainer battles and the fights in the grass, which then boosts leveling but continues progress in the game. You do occasionally see this at like a 2, so I'm guessing one of these are pretty far back. Hopefully, we just continue seeing their progress here. I think so far so good. What ends up happening usually is it takes about 10, or sorry, about 12 to 16,000 for most of them to get to Brock, and then uh, navigating through Mount Moon is like another 100,000 steps. So in my original training, I had about like what was it 180,000 steps total. So it would just barely get to Cerulean City, and that's why I thought to add more steps to each of the training sessions before the reset. But not encountering, or what ended up happening is it ended up going backwards to try and kind of fill out some of those other rewards it knew it could get. So I think one of the things to try and do here is I'm going to bring it down a couple seconds. We kind of proved out we did what we wanted to do. Gave it the interrupt there, yeah, and then oh, we now implemented the item rewards. So I just want to kick it off and see if it quickly generates a bunch of points for that. I think you start with a few Pokeballs and potions. Another thing too is increasing the explore weight as an idea. Items, yeah, it's getting a few points for rewards. That's fine. We just want a little bit, right? Not too much here. So it's got a few. Looks like it's quickly moved out and seen another Pokemon. like all the way out into the grass, getting a few. So this is nice. This time it's actually scrolling through and showing me these. A few Pokemon have flipped up in the party. Great. Let me refresh and see what's the session ID here. Okay. Going out, fighting. One of them has already captured a Pidgey. So, wow, already up into here, super fast. So they quickly blow through the beginning area, being Caterpies. Guessing. Bubble. And then a few of them are, well, I'm talking about. Oh, darn it. Because I was in the images when it went through the save, it did not like that. So we do show that the item rewards are working. We made changes to the scoring. I am going to bring up the exploration here in the baseline. It did 0.1. So I'm just going to double that. And in here. Yeah, okay. All right, so we'll restart this. I hope I saved it. If I just plan it to be 2, that should be fun. Anyway, I'll give that a shot here in a little bit. So we jump in. Already seeing a bunch of them jumping out and races. So there we go. All right, I'm making progress. All right, so kind of quickly recap the changes that we made so far. So we doubled the Explorer rewards here. We also ended up doubling the badge rewards. The events we took from a 4 times multiplier down to a 3. Level rewards are still the same. We have not really made any changes. I think the captured is the same now as the seen in terms of it's just a flat 1 times reward. Yeah. Yeah. So no more double points for capturing Pokemon, which I think is fine overall. the idea here is we just want to get through the through all the gyms. If we were doing one where we had to say like beat all the gyms as well as capture all 150 Pokemon, or I guess we can't get all of them because of the trades that would need to happen for what is it? Alakazam, Machamp, or two others who I'm forgetting. Who you can't even get, and then the other ones are like rare on the red version versus the blue version. That there would be challenges for that as well. Um, that the bulk of what the rewards it will get will be badge and exploration here. So the rest are just kind of nice to have to encourage good behaviors along the way. Now we're already here at the second set. We see a few of them have actually captured additional Pokemon. I guess three of them have captured additional Pokemon, and then one even captured two of them. So curious to see their behavior as they continue on. A few of them have already fainted multiple times. But you can see just that this, I guess, few amount of steps in, and then we're off and running again. See here. There we go. Quickly progressing. Oh, how do we? Oh, probably because I'm seeing a delay. Right? I don't think we would have too many. Well, I'm just going to move this up and run for a little bit. Let me check the chats. No messages or anything so far, which is fine. See. Here, on these messages. So now we're seeing about 2/3 of the points are coming from exploration. Let's see, where are we? Here, to the gym yet? A few I've gotten there. Where are they? Why am I not seeing myself on the map? You there? Okay, a few have gotten in there. Looks like quite a few have already gotten Brock. We'll see when it pauses here, 1,000 steps, how many have gotten, but it seems like quite a bit. Trainers, another version just beat Brock. Couple in the Mount Moon already. Or what I assume is Mount Moon. Somebody's got a Jigglypuff, I just don't know. Fighting against Jigglypuff, particularly Puff. Good amount of them. This one, I think, just got the guy there that gives the Magikarp. See here, we got about less than 1,000 steps to go. Seems like about, I'd say 2/3. It could just be one or two, and I'm just not. We'll see in about 2,000 step range, or the 12,000 step mark. How many? Even last time, this is better performance here. Just make sure I'm in the folder. Okay, I'm not in the folder. Here we go. Let's count. So this is line one, 2, 3. So what is that? That's 75%, right? 9 out of 12 have beaten Brock in this time. So what do we see about those ones? They just haven't made as much progress. They've seen far fewer Pokemon. This one has 2, but they, for the most part, will only have their starter Pokemon. Very few levels overall. Although this one, surprisingly, they gotten there with a lower level score. So level is not the end all be all. I'd say it's probably this one here. You'll hopefully see. Okay. Yeah, so that one hasn't beaten it yet. Level 14 Squirtle. That should be capable with what it's got. Like close, but it should be able to. And then where are those other two? Those are War Turtles. I don't think that's the issue. Probably this one 13. This one 11. No, another train. So we're about an hour into our session today. Just kind of recap things quickly because I want to let this run and see that we've seen improvements. Um, so we've made a number of changes. things here. So we took we took the reward score from 4 times for each event encountered down to 3. The level reward is unchanged. The healing we took from 5 to 2, so that's percent of health healed. You can still see here it's gaining points for that, which is fine. We want to encourage that behavior. Not as much as it was before, because we'd seen loops of it hanging around the Pokemon Center. This is just to encourage it to heal and kind of get on its way. We then, what else here? We doubled the badge bonuses. So it was getting 10 points for the badge before, now it's going to get 20. It's not here, but we changed this explore weight to be from 0.1 to 0.2. That's over here. So essentially doubling what was there. And then we took off the 2 times multiplier for the Pokemon caught. We're just leaving it at 0.1. And then the PP stuff here was not working. So I just took it out of the code. It's not going to be, it's not doing anything here, so there's nothing really for it to update. And then see here, scroll, we're at the next iteration. So of this, just 2 remain that have not been able to beat the gym. We got another one that got through here, I think it was this line. Let's level up quite a bit. It's also gotten a few more Pokemon and continued on its way. So good progress overall here. Hopefully we see those last 2 get there, but we're talking only 16,000 actions in, and where we at now? 5 out of 6 have beaten the gym. So overall, pretty good. And then hopefully we'll continue to see more exploration here into Mount Moon. It seems like a few of them are just trying to cap out the exploration rewards. We've got a number here. They're already on the beginning of the Mount Moon exploration phase. Just have to figure out kind of even though these are overlaid on top of one another, how it actually encounters them is not that way. And trying to progress the rest of the way through. I believe this is getting the Moonstone, and needs to figure its way out through there. So all in all, excited to see that we did get to beating Misty. Hopefully we can get it back on track of, instead of just spending a lot of time in the Mount Moon Pokemon Center, to continuing its journey through. What I'll do is I'll end this stream and I will kick off another stream that will just be the almost the reinforcement learning phase of just letting the iterations go through here, because I think we've encountered quite a bit of progress. They pretty quickly get through Brock, and then hopefully when I come, I'll check on this. I'll probably be around for like the next 30 minutes or so, and then keep checking on the progress of it. Part of that will be just seeing if they can progress through Mount Moon, get to Misty, and then continue their way through up to Bill. And then once they do that, make their way down Vermilion City, and then eventually this, I think this is the SSN? Yeah. Not this. Vermilion City. This one. Forget it. Saffron. Progress to go. So anyway, yeah, I'll bring this down. Thanks for those who came and see this. We've had pretty good progress overall. Like I said, we're now beating Misty, and hopefully we can get it to a high success rate. So every version had beaten Brock, and then we're hoping to get it to, it was about 30%, gotten 4 out of the 12 to beat Misty, and so hopefully we can work on improving that and then having them continue on their way through the rest of the journey. So this is the end for the development video. and then I'll shift over to just streaming the AI playing itself. Thank you and have a great night.